Hey
Okay.
everybody, how's it going? Everyone else
Yes.
going?
Happy Thursday, dude.
I
Getting
know.
through the week.
Week's going by quick, going by really quick.
Yes.
But
Yeah, it
it's been
is.
a good week so far. Hopefully it's good for you and Texas.
Oh, dude, it is finally getting cooler. And by cooler, I mean in the 80s. I mean,
Wow,
70s in the morning,
Whew,
you walk outside, you have a little
nice.
breeze. Yeah, Texas.
That's awesome.
We have no Kareem. What's up, dude? Uh yeah, we have no days in the 100s, like the highs in 100s in the 10-day forecast, which is like, yeah, it's it's been happening,
That's
but
like
it's
hilarious. Don't even know what to say to that because I've never experienced anything like that. Right?
yeah,
Like
in Indiana, it's
hearing
so
that you
freaking mild.
exactly
Golly.
hearing that you said no days in the hundreds. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like a day in the hundreds for me
That
is
happens?
like a
Yeah.
historical day, right?
Yep.
So that's crazy. Wow. 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 Well, yeah, we have in a fun plan in store for the live stream today. A bunch of different things, right? I know I'm going to go over a notification system in the app, and
Yeah.
I know Andrew's going to be showing you some things. I just noticed too, my name. I got to edit my name. It says Andrew
Andrew
Daniel.
D.
I was like, wait a minute, we got two in here. There we go. So no, super excited to go over this and showcase some strategies for setting up notifications. There's like so many, right? I know you've
Yeah.
implemented a bunch of ways that you found.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the team has implemented some. I've implemented like it. I feel like there's so many techniques, so people just kind of pick one that they find or is best for their project. So it'll be fun
Yeah,
to kind of discuss that stuff for sure.
I agree. Yeah, dude, I've
For sure.
implemented like 3 or 4 different types
Hmm,
of notifications, like,
nice.
just 'cause.
Wow. Nice. No, I mean, and there's so many different use cases for it too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think jumping into the project right away, Andrew, what I'll ask you to do, if possible,
Yeah.
is I have a chat page, but oh, that looks pretty good. But the all chats page, if you can make that just a basic like list
Yeah.
view
Yeah.
of chats, that'd be great
You got it.
because I need to actually like I have a chats page, but I don't actually have the. That's where we're going to show the notifications. Is the all chats page with that notification icon on top, right? And then we can build a notifications page too as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So let me share my screen and kind of dive into this.
I haven't built this stuff out before, so I'm definitely not copying and pasting from another project into this project.
So, all right, cool. Got my screen up. Awesome. So, yeah, what we're in right now is the basic FlutterFlow app. Basically, I was working on just a basic chat application. So, in this one, I'll probably work on this and release it as a template app or something. The thought here was similar to, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the app Be Real. It was a photo application where you'd get a notification and you'd have, I think, a minute or 5 minutes or 2 minutes. I can't remember what the time was to take a selfie and upload it into a feed for all your friends. And so I thought I would take that and build it into a chat application.
Yep.
But the chat application would be more for keeping up with friends and family. So imagine you had like a family group chat, and every day you could pay and set a defined notification time, or you could just have it set random and everyone would have to, you can see some of the options down here, send a message, you could upload a photo, you could send a drawing, you could share your location. Again, all things you can do with FlutterFlow, but a key
Yep.
part of that are notifications. And maybe you want to have some global notifications, and that's probably what we'll showcase first, which is definitely going to be like database friendly. And there's a lot of different ways you could set this up too. You'll see as we jump into this that you could take the same strategy and apply it to maybe having a pop-up that occurs every day. Some people have, something like a news app might have every morning or the first time you open the app for the day, news highlights section, right, where it has some articles, and maybe you want that to occur every day. You could apply the same strategy to what we're learning today to an application like that as well. So yeah, we can kind of jump into it and get started. But anything you want to add as I kind of dive into things?
No, this is going to be great because I was going to do a chat interaction like the new iOS 17,
Nice.
sort of like fade in to get to the widgets. I was going to do
Nice.
that. So this is actually perfect. I won't break your screen though.
All
Wait,
good.
did I break your screen?
No, you've got the chat iOS 17 up.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we'll do that. I'll do that afterwards. So
awesome.
this is going to be excellent though, because people always want to know how to build these things. And I know that you're so good at all this logic stuff. So I'm excited
Nice.
as well.
Nice. Yeah. So to start, I'm actually going to make a notifications page. So I'm going to duplicate the all chats page and just make a notifications page. It's going to be pretty easy. Let's just rename it here. I'm going to remove the notification icon in the top right. I'm going to keep that row though. So this is centered. I could just turn on centered text, but we'll leave it for now. And then I'm going to change this to a back button. So back button here. There we go. And let's remove, we'll just remove this entirely. We'll just switch off reverse. So we have a list view here, and we need to remove the kind of chat section that we have at the bottom. So now we have a basic setup, right? We just have a basic page. Now we can actually add a container for our notifications. So we have a list view. I'm going to drag in a container, and maybe let's do, oh, it looks like I need to disable the start spacing as well, but we'll keep the item spacing. Let's add a row in here. Add some padding to the row. Maybe let's do 18, 12, 18, and 12. Andrew, is this something you typically do, or do you just stick with a line padding? I tend to add more padding to the sides when I do things like this.
100%.
Is there like a good strategy for that, for design, or a good rule to follow?
So I always I do a 4-pixel grid. So I work off of multiples of 4. So nice. 16, 12, 16, 8, something like that. But yeah, typically on this, like I would do 16 and 12 on the top, 8 or 12 on the top, and then 16 on the right and the left. Very common. Like almost always will I do that. So
okay, cool. That's good to know. So we just switched it to 12 and 16.
Yep.
Some good design rules, right? When you're building a FlutterFlow. And now let's add a little icon here for unread notifications. So I'm going to add a container, just make it a circle, make it maybe 8 in diameter, and let's make it bright red. So we'll use the error color for now. Looks fine.
Nice.
And then for a notification, maybe we want a notification name and the description and the date. So, and an icon here to open it. So I'm going to add 2, let's add a column.
Yep.
Set it to expand. Left align it. And then let's add a row as well as another row. Okay. Nice. We're going to center the rows here. And then we also need to add some spacing as well. There we go. So there's some space between the notification icon. If there is one, we'll eventually set this conditionally shown or hidden. And maybe let's add the title text. Let's just make it semi-bold and 16. And then I'm going to copy that and paste below here.
Nice.
Let's do label small for now. And add 4 pixels of padding. So now we'll have technically the notification title here, a description. Now I'm going to duplicate this text. Now I'm going to set the first text to be expanded. And then this is going to be the time of the notification. So we also want this small. So We're going to set this as label small as well. And then let's maybe put an icon in this row too. So we're going to do a similar strategy. This text, we'll set it to, well, let's wait until we add the icon. But we will set this to expanded. So now instead of like space between, we'll just set the text to expanded so that the text will wrap once it gets to the end and go to the next line. And we also need to add padding on both of these rows. So you could add padding to these, but I actually have just been using the item spacing, which turns out pretty nice. Yep. It's such a good like feature, right? Good feature addition.
It is so intuitive, dude. I love it. I mean, because that's what you have in like design tools. Like you have spacing, you know, like you have tidy and spacing. So yeah.
So we added padding to the text. I'm going to remove that and actually add it to the entire row. So again, now we have, this might be the time. So let's just add like filler time here. And then the title, notification title, description, and the little icon to open it. Okay, so this is, now we just need to make sure that the row here is set to use the minimum amount of space, and the container, we can remove the height on. And now it kind of shrinks, right? So we have a container here, it shrinks, and obviously we can add the children or query the database to create all the notifications. So let's jump into our Firebase data and create a basic notifications collection. Yes. The way we're going to structure this is very dependent on how you want these notifications to act. And so what we're first going to do, or I think for the purpose of this kind of tutorial, is going to be creating global notifications. Technically, you could use this for individual notifications for users. You could do this. It's up to you, but I'm just going to act as if I'm creating it as like global push notifications, right? Say I have an app and I want every user to get the same announcement. Say maybe I have a product.
Yep.
And I have a product update list, right? Of like, I just released a new product update, an app update, and I want users to read it when they open the app, right? Whenever I decide to publish a new one. That's a good example of what this screen could be, right? I think like Discord does that. When Discord pushes an update, you open the app and you see a list of the product updates, and then you continue on.
Yep. And you can pair that with push notifications, right?
Yeah.
But since we can't read the push notifications in the app, right? They're just Cloud Function, basically, collections. Creating this extra collection and sending that to the users where they can read that. And you don't have to worry about permissions and rules and all this stuff. It's all just unique to whatever your use case is. So you don't have to worry about the push notification, the FF notifications collection. Don't even worry about that. Just create this new one. So
nice.
And
this is pretty much all we need is a title, description, and time created for these larger announcements. And I'll show you why in a second. Of course, you could customize this however you want. You could potentially tag specific users and things there, but this is pretty much like the core notification. So we can jump back into collections, and now let's add a query to this list view for the notifications. And we're going to order it by time created, decreasing. And this should be good to go. We could enable infinite scroll as well. Maybe we'll do that, and I'll show you. We might turn this off, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's do 10 here. So there we go. Now we have notifications. One thing I didn't realize is maybe we want to, instead of having a container here, sometimes I do something different where I'm going to wrap this row in a column. And then in the column, I'm going to add, we could do a divider or a container. Let's just do a divider for now with a height of 1. Make sure the accent, I think accent 4 should work. Maybe not.
Do alternate.
Where's it?
Top right
here. There we go.
Right, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
All right, so now we have the line here. We can actually remove the container as a whole because now the column fills that space. Let's just set the column shrink and we'll remove the container. So there we go. We could set the column as the action. So now we have notifications with lines between them. And let's go ahead and set some of this stuff up. So let's add the title and the time created here. Let's add a date format to maybe. So actually, I find myself using a lot of custom dates. It's actually pretty nice.
Ooh.
There's a long list of date formats you can use.
Yeah.
If you search like the date formats for Dart, definitely recommend doing that depending on your use case, right? You can just show the date, like the day, number of the day, or a month abbreviated, stuff like that. So we have the notification set up. Now I do need to remove a few things from the page as well, because I know there's some default things that we have on this page from an earlier page.
Yeah.
For example, this is navigate back. Text is fine. So, and we'll have to remove that from other pages to get rid of these errors. But we have a notifications page, right? So now let's actually go over to the all chats page. Now, the all chats page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this container at the bottom as well. Nice. And everything there. And we could probably, let's just act as if this is a chat. Now, we won't actually like query the chats. We can leave this static just for the sake of this video. Let's remove anything from here as well. And we'll have to set up the all chats page as the first page we want to go to. There we go. Okay, so now we have this. Now let's go to this container and let's set this to go to the notifications page. And we probably want to add a indicator icon here too to basically signify that there's unread notifications. So what I'm going to do, there's actually two options for this. You could add a badge. You could also add a stack. I'm going to do that for this, where we just wrap this container in a stack. And then we add a container, and we'll do the same thing that we did for that unread option here. So I'm going to add a container that's 8 in diameter. Make it in, I got to set the width, which I think is 35.
Nice. And for those that are just joining, sorry, we have like 52 now, which is great. Thank you all for joining. We are building a notifications center, and Will is just building out like bare bones, right, from 0 to 100. We created a new collection for this notifications. So this notifications collection will be what the user sees in their application. We'll pair that with the ff__ notifications that we send via cloud functions, which are push notifications in the application. So this one is user readable. We can adjust the rules, right? We can do all of this stuff. We can showcase unread or read. And so he's building that out right now. And we're building this on the base of a chat application. So
nice. Yep.
I think all of that stuff is hopefully good catch up for the people just
joined. And all that we've done is built a notifications page, which is just querying a collection we made, which is a basic notifications collection, right? A title, description, and time created. That's all.
Yep.
So
and if you wanted to do this like in a chat app format, you could have like users associated with that, notification as well. So you could have like a user
list
reference / list. Yeah. Something like that. So
nice. So anywhere, this is the really interesting part. There's one thing that we need to add, and this really brings everything together. We essentially need to save a date now, either as a local state, and I'll tell you when you might want to use that, or on the user document, which has the last time the user saw the notification. And this allows us to set up essentially all the logic we need to create these universal notifications.
Mm.
So if we want something which is like it doesn't matter if the user uses this account on one device or another, we probably want to store that date in which the document was read within the user's collection. And the nice part about that is we're only updating one document. It's just one user collection. And we don't have to update all the notification documents. So instead of focusing on updating every notification document to say it was read, we're just updating one user document to set all the notifications as read. And then if we wanted it to be like, it doesn't depend on or you want this to be device specific. So for example, the Discord example I gave earlier, where you just want to showcase product updates or something like that. You could technically use an app state as well and just store this as a persisted app state. But for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to add it to the user document.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's, man, I love the app state because it's like you don't have to do a Firebase read every time or a database read every time, but it's only for that specific device. So if you are building a responsive application or you multi-platform, right? It doesn't really work. So, but yeah, that's great.
So all we need to, go ahead.
No, you keep going. No, mine's supplemental.
No, the only thing we need to add to the user's collection here is maybe let's just name it last. This is going to be a long name. Definitely name it something different, but we can do like last notification read time. Okay. And this is going to be a date and time. So we've created this for the user document, and now we can set up the rest of our project. So really all that was needed was a notifications collection with some basic info, and then one field which has a date and time. So let's go to the all chats page and let's go to this icon that we have here. Now you could put this icon, this unread indicator, you could reuse the strategy on anything. We're talking unread notifications, unread chat messages, unread, whatever it may be. All we need to do is add a query to this. We're going to do a query collection, and we are going to query the notifications collection. Now, we want to query for one document, and we're going to leave this toggle on, which is hide widget if no match. Essentially, what this is going to do is it's going to look for a notification document that matches our conditions. If it finds any document, right, at least one document that matches a condition, we know that we have at least one document that is unread, right, or hasn't been seen. But if it doesn't find any, it returns 0, then it's just going to hide this indicator altogether. So we just need to add a filter where the time created is greater than the last notification read time or read time, however you want to say it, right? And that's all we need to do, right? So we'll confirm that. And then maybe one other thing that I find myself doing too is adding custom loading widgets for this, because the notification icon is so small. So if we had the default one and maybe you had like a 25 pixel loading indicator, it might look a little odd because you might have a big loading indicator. So I will just add a custom loading indicator here. Let's make it the same red color. And let's just do circular. And I think the diameter is 10. So let's maybe do it. I think it's 10. So let's do 10. So we can see here, if I turn that on, it looks a little odd. And that might just be because of the way I have it set up.
Oh, could you zoom in on that screen?
Nice. Yeah, definitely. There we go. So it does look a little odd here. You can see how it is querying it in the middle. So you could even, like, if you really wanted to do this, I sometimes hide the loading indicator because the user isn't waiting to see if anything loads, right? It's kind of like a hidden load. So now we technically have this. If I disable view in UI Builder, we have this push notification indicator. that's looking for any document that has a time past the last time we read the notifications. So now we can jump over to the notifications page and we can do the same thing here. We're going to go to the indicator here and we are going to say query collection, notifications, single document, and we are going to say, actually, no, we could even set this to the notification specifically. So we could do conditional.
Yep.
And set it to when this specific notification time, the time created, again, is greater than, where we go, the authenticated user's last notification read time. So we'll confirm that. So it's only going to appear if the notification was created after the user last saw the notifications page.
Yep.
Now, the trick to this, for this container, basically what you want to make sure you do is you don't want this to update immediately when you view the page, because if you set this to update immediately, then as soon as you view this page, all these loading indicators are going to go away because we've updated the time that the user saw the notifications. You at least want to leave these for the first time the user looks at the page. So we can go back to edit back and query for the entire list. And we have infinite scroll, and actually that might do the job. Otherwise, we could just do a single time query.
Yep.
I'm going to do that for now.
Yeah, I like that.
And you could limit, like, you probably don't need to see all of the notifications forever, right? You could limit this to the most recent 10 notifications or something.
Yep. You know what would be really nice is pagination. That'd be really nice.
A good hint there, right? So we have the single time query enabled. So now what we can do is wait 100 milliseconds or 400 milliseconds after the page is loaded, and then update the time. So it still gives the icons here time to load and appear for the notifications that haven't been read, and it will stay because we've only called this list one time, the results. And it won't, these notification indicators won't go away until we actually like leave the page or do something. So
also, sorry, I'm super excited.
No, this is good.
I just realized, because you're doing this on page load, right? So doing this on page load, if you wanted to not make this automatic, right? If you wanted to have like a mark all as read, you could do this as an implicit action as well, where you just said mark all as read, and that's when you update the last notification seen. So you can make it, you know, just like that, which is super rad. You know, you don't have to make it like that. So
that's a great point, actually. That's a really good point. So I mean, there's so many different like cool ways to do this. And for example, for this on the notifications page, now we just need to add an action. So let's actually just open this. I'm going to do on page load. I'm going to say wait. Let's do 300 milliseconds, or let's do 500. That's half a second, right? Wait half a second. And then we will update the user document. The user document. Whoops.
Oh no.
Set a user reference. And I'm forgetting one thing here, and I'll show you what it is. So we're going to update the user document with the last notification read time. But the thing here is that how are we actually going to get the last notification read time? So what we can do is add a query here. We're going to, now that we have this as an action, I'm going to do, where is it? I think it is query. Yeah, query collection. I'm just going to do the same thing. So query notification for a single document. And we're going to just set it to where I get the most recent document created. So let's do time created in decreasing. So we get the most recent document return. And now we can actually use that to set the last read notification time.
Nice.
We just got to name this. So Awesome. So there we go. Let's do action outputs, recent notification, and we can set it as time created. So now when we view this page, it's going to wait half a second. So that way all this stuff loads and these unread indicators appear if we haven't read the document yet. And then it will update all this. But because we have it on single time, we've enabled single time query, it's not going to update these until we leave the page, right?
Nice.
So technically we have a basic notification system put together. And again, this is for global notifications. If you could add some additional things, like say you wanted to only update each indicator when you've read the notification, then you would have to store a list of read notifications for the user here.
Cool.
So let's actually see. Oh, we need the off page, and we could probably.
I got it.
Putting it together.
I'm doing it in the background. I'm helping you out. Nice. So we have no errors now. If you want to start that test mode, you can do it. So
yeah. So let me make sure.
It's the power of collaborative building in FlutterFlow. Come on.
Nice. No, this is awesome. So we have like a basic chat screen. We have the notification button, and the notification button will open the notifications page, and then we have a back button. So I'm going to open a test mode. Whoops. I'm going to open a test mode here. And what I'm also going to do, I'm going to open the content manager. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Yep.
I'm going to open the content manager here.
Cool.
And we can maybe answer some questions too while this is loading up here. So,
oh no.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm trying to get your authentication set up.
You're good. No worries. I'm opening the content manager. And if I need to jump into Firebase, let me know. I can gladly open that project.
Nope, you're all good. All good. Okay, so yeah, let's answer some questions. Let's see. All right, this one. It's great stuff. Would be awesome for FF to develop a built-in notification system, a little like you have pre-built chats. You know, this is one of the things that I'm bringing up to the developers. So please explain that in the community. I'm trying to think of ways that we are improving our chats. So we're upgrading to Chats v2 and very soon. And I've also mentioned, like, it would be cool if we could automate some of these other things that our builders do constantly, like a create screen, a detail screen, an edit screen, you know, something that can, you know, all sort of work together. You don't have to make that every single time. A profile screen and a profile edit screen, you know, like things like this that are just very common, right? Almost every app has them. And you can just, boom, add them all to your app. You add a collection to your app. You add all the 3 pages and the connections there. You know, authentication, like, yes, you can set up authentication extremely quickly in FlutterFlow, but how cool would it be if you could have a branded login page, create page, forgot password page, create profile page, a pin code, you know, like sign up with phone screen. You could have 6 or 7 screens all linked, all associated with a user collection. Add it to your app, boom, you already have authentication. You know, again, you can do this in FlutterFlow, but trying to reduce the amount of friction that it takes to get a working application up and running. So I love that.
Joseph has a good question too. Maybe a little hint there, asking about getting items to show up one by one in an animation. That is a big request that we have a lot.
Very. Yeah. Please also upvote that. I think we talked about it in our PDC. I don't know if it got taken and put on the board, but staggered animations, that would be a staggered animation. So we've talked about it. We would like to implement it, but just keep asking for it, guys.
Sure.
We always look at the users and how many users are using it and how much it would benefit them. So yeah, that's awesome.
Nice. And I'm just deploying some Firestore rules here in the background.
Here's one for you, Will.
Oh, when's the new FF Expert program? That's a great question. We're working to have it, at least the first version of it, like a new update, released by the end of October. So we're going to be interviewing. We have tons of applicants, over 500 applicants for the FlutterFlow expert program. Tons of experts in the community that are going to be updated onto the program here. But again, that is something that we're working on for the month of October. And again, I'm just waiting for this test mode to load up. I'm going to refresh my page because I think it might have something to do with us editing. After I started the test mode. So we're going to start a new one. And we've pushed the Firestore rules. We've have everything set up properly. Again, it's just waiting for.
And Daniel, we're launching it end of October. So
nice.
Apply then. Let's see. There's another one. Okay. Anybody? Do you know anybody? There's the Digital Pro. That's him. He does a lot of Supabase tutorials. If there's anyone, Steve would be the one probably to implement successful push notifications with Supabase. He just released like a long, like probably an hour and a half long video of how to build a full application with Supabase. So search the Digital Pro on YouTube. It's excellent. Yeah, he's excellent. And then Daniel also posted something. He just released a video on how to implement push notifications with Xano. So even more complicated because you have to use APIs for Xano right now. So great work on that.
Nice. All right, so we're still loading up the test mode. I'm going to go to web publishing as well. Try to publish this to see if we can.
This is a good one. This is a good one. This one's a really good question. How do you set up a notification system to get notified with a product ID and product details when a user purchases an item? Excellent.
Good question.
Yeah, amazing, dude. Excellent work. So all you would do, right? You would do the same thing, and this is why we're setting up this as a separate collection. Okay. That's why we're doing this. We have push notifications implemented into FlutterFlow. So you can basically create that from actions, right? You have to deploy, you have to initiate and deploy your push notifications, okay? But those push notifications just allow you to enter the application, right? And sometimes you can even tell that push notification to be sent to a product page, right? You can say product details page, pass this reference, because there's going to be a page parameter there. So pass this reference, right? And they can go directly to that page. But after that push notification leaves, there's no way for them to get there. So that's why we're creating this separate collection where we can pass in that data, a product details reference, right? So that you can see a list of notifications. You can see what happened there. You can click on that notification and go to that product details page. So that is an excellent question. And we've done that I think we've done that in the past. We could do it here even if you wanted to have time, because this is good. This is good stuff. Like what you're doing, Will, is awesome. So we could almost do that where you get notified of the chat, right? And you get taken to the chat from the notification if you wanted to. I don't know. So.
Okay, so I'm trying here. It's saying Firebase error. Firebase, there's no user record corresponding, although I'm using the sign up page.
Oh, you need to refresh probably. So yeah, refresh, because there was a login. There's some bug in the template page. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, like whoever built that, come on, get a life, my guy. I realized that some of these pages I didn't change the actions. So I updated it. It was logging in and I changed it to create account. So I need to go through. I'm going through this week on fixing some of those authentication template pages. And making sure they work. So
nice. All right, so we're loading test mode here. All right, let's give it a shot, and then I'll share my screen. Oh, I see. Yes, now it says chat app at the top.
Yeah. So it should be working. Diego, this is excellent. Go to marketplace.flutterflow.io. It has arrived. The new marketplace has arrived.
Nice.
You can apply, I think, to be a paid contributor,
Yes.
where you can post paid products. And we just updated the search to emphasize or to prioritize paid templates and ratings rather than just popularity, because obviously a lot of people are posting. Oh, sorry.
For sure.
A
No.
lot of people are posting new stuff. So
Nice. Nice. No, that's awesome. All right, so you can see my screen. We got the test mode going. I know the debug indicator is in the way in test mode, but you can see it there, the little red icon, right? So I added an unread notification in our backend collection. So watch this, right? We're gonna click on this, and all right, perfect. We have an unexpected null value.
yeah. Probably because you
Yeah.
haven't updated your last notification read.
Ah, you're right.
See?
I need to add that to.
When you log in.
Oh, no, it looks like we have it. It might just be. Let me go back. It might be a setup issue that I have on my side for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, you're right. So when the user signs up for the app, you need to set a first last see notification time, because obviously it's looking to sort for that. So it does work now, right? You can see when I click on the page, we have a notification, but obviously it's it's already read, so we have no indicator anymore. So let's actually add another notification. So I'm going to go to notifications. We're going to see this live. So I'm on the chat app page. I'm going to zoom into. I want you to watch in this top right corner for the indicator. So again, this is the nice part, is live notifications. So I could do this.
What we should do is we should move that notification icon to the left. Like,
yeah, we can do that for sure.
Pixels padding, just so we can see it in debug mode.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so I'm adding a new notification. So I just added the document. Look at that. There is a unread icon now, right?
Nice.
So updated live for us. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And then we're going to click on this and let's see what happens. So I'm going to click on it. Okay. So I guess I'm a fortune teller, right? I said this is going to be unread. This is going to be an unread notification. And again, because how we set it up, the the unread indicator is gone for the first notification. It is here for this. Now, if I go back, or I navigate to a different page and come back to the notifications page, this unread indicator is going to be gone, because again, what we've done is updated the last seen notification time after we loaded the page. So let's go back. It's gone. We click on this.
Nice.
There we go. So we've officially made a global notification method. And again, you could implement this method for a multitude of different features. Again, if you had a news app and every day you wanted a summary dialog to pop up the first time the user opens the app, you could set it up so that at 12:01, you create the new record, and then if the user opens the app anytime at the next day, or you could set up a custom function to do that as well or something, then it pops up on the screen the first time they view it. It updates the time they viewed it, and then anytime that rest of the day until there's a new document to read from, it won't be shown. So that's notifications. I know it took a little longer just because we had to build the screens and everything, but pretty simple if you think about it. It was one collection with 3 variables, one addition to the user collection, and a query or 2.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of questions on, external push notifications. Why can't we access that collection and stuff? Okay, so from my understanding, like Ahmad asked this, Joseph asked this.
I can actually discuss this a little bit too, but go ahead.
No. Please, if you have better insight than me, then I would love for you to discuss it. So you would know more about the APIs and stuff.
So in Firebase, what we're doing when you click the deploy push notifications button is we're creating Firebase functions or cloud functions. And what those functions are doing, first off, we are creating what's called an FCM key. Look it up if you're interested. It's essentially a key connected to a user device, allowing us to send a notification to that device. Now, that's one of the cloud functions. Then there's two other cloud functions, depending on if you toggle on the ability to schedule push notifications. The first function that's created basically watches a collection for any new documents created. And when a new document is created in that collection, it sends a push notification with whatever is in that document. And if you go into Firebase after sending some push notifications, you'll notice there's two collections typically. There's a FF underscore users underscore notifications. And that's like if a user does an action to send a notification. And then if you send a global notification from the notifications panel in FlutterFlow, that's going to be just FF underscore notifications.
Yep.
Technically, if you really wanted to, you could add those collections into your app, right? Technically, like what we're doing when you add the push notification action, we're just doing create document, right, for you. And we're just giving you the field. So you could technically—
Plus the cloud functions. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like you could look in Firebase, look at the document, add that collection and like the structure into your FlutterFlow project and add things however you want into that. And that would also work. And
Joseph, then the schedule— saying he's tried this.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, like I've done this for a few projects. Oh, nope, you can't. Will. Interesting. What do you mean it won't work? One of the things I would watch out for is the structure of the document. For example, the user references are a string, not a document reference. And a lot of people get that wrong just with the way the function's set up. So pretty interesting. And I might make a detailed video on that because there's a ton of logic you can do in the background. Like I have, there's a basic cloud function feature called pub sub, or cron jobs as well, where you could automate the creation of documents in the push notification collection and send out push notifications.
Yeah.
So I know that was a lot.
and yeah, that's totally good, dude. And again, that's sort of why we set it up this way, right? We don't want to mess with those cloud functions. We don't want to mess around with things that we're doing from FlutterFlow. We don't want to ruin that, right? So if you create a separate document, yes, it's another read or write or whatever. Like again, unless you have millions of users, or hundreds of thousands of users or thousands of users, right? Like it won't really matter. Like all my sample apps are connected to a Firebase, and I get charged there's thousands of users that use all those things all the time. So, and I get like 6 cents and 10 cents and 20 cents. It's like, come on. So just for the ease of use, right? Instead of saying, well, we're stopped from doing this, we're stopped from doing this. Well, that's why we're creating this new collection where you have full transparency. You can create it, right? If you want to access a page, if you want to set up different products, right? If you want a new product to be linked there, and if you want to do anything and everything, you can do that, right? If you want to add a list of users, you can do that. So yeah, this is a way where it's just without limitation. And again, we've done numerous live streams on this structure, right? Creating that separate collection and then utilizing it. And then this is a new way of sort of marking those things as read, which is better than the ways we've done it before, right? The ways we've done before is you click one, it gets added to it. You're updating a document every single time, So like for the e-commerce app, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through that. I had 200 notifications. So this is a much better way to do it in conjunction with saving those reads and writes to Firebase.
Nice.
So
nice. There's a quick question. I know we went a little long here, so I don't know if you still want to share the iOS or if you want to save that. One question I had, Diego had, excuse me. I'm from Brazil, and the marketplace says I'm not able to apply anything. Is there any region restriction? Unfortunately, there is, because we're using a third-party tool to handle payouts, and that's Stripe, if you're familiar with Stripe. So you can actually find the countries that's the official link to Stripe's list of countries they currently support for cross-border payouts. So unfortunately, we are limited to what Stripe offers because that's the third-party tool we've used to implement payments.
Yep, exactly. Well, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, what I have to build, since we did put it in the title, right? We put it in the title, so we might as well. Yeah, it won't take me that long, actually.
Nice.
Let's see. Let's move you over here, and I'll move this over here. Okay. And I just wanted to share my screen. This one's a little more, this one's a little more just UI focused, right? It's
Nice.
iOS 17 was launched this past week, right? Or maybe the week before. But anyways, it was launched recently, right? And iOS 17 has this really sick interaction on this messages screen, right? You have this little like cool interaction here. And I just wanted to showcase how you can do this within FlutterFlow in one way, right? So if you use an iPhone and you have this very smooth, just sort of grow in, blur the background, we can utilize a page view as well. They have this like more section. They do have staggered animation, so we ain't going to build all of it. But we can build essentially like the bare bones of it. So I have my chat here. This button will trigger that sort of grow in, scale in animation. And what we're going to do is, instead of building an app or a page state and showcasing that thing on this page, and instead of doing a bottom sheet, what we're going to do is we're going to do a dialogue, a custom dialogue. So I'm just going to create a custom dialogue, right? I'm going to do a component because that's how we access those custom dialogues. And I'm going to do my bottom sheet here. I'm just going to utilize a template, something like this or this. I think this one's great. So iOS action sheet. All right, cool. Now we have this little guy, but we want this background to be infinity height or full height. Probably put this in a column, possibly. Yeah, something like that. We'll do this. Okay, we're going to wrap this guy in a blur widget because we need that blur widget. So wrap blur, add backdrop, which is going to be the blur in the background. We're going to add a little more blur here. Boom. And then we need this container, right, to actually be transparent. So we're going to do accent 4, which is a transparent, it's like an overlay, right, in our themes. And then we have this column. This column is actually going to be, it's going to be on the left. So if we go back to that, it's going to be the bottom left. So we're just going to align that bottom left. And we can add possibly some more padding here. So like, let's say 72 padding. Okay. And we want this container all the way. Cool. What we'll do is this blur will sort of, it sort of scales up and in, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We'll add an animation on page load. We'll do
it's awesome how quick you made this. Like you literally just use a starting template, which again, that's why they're there. Please use them. Andrew has spent a lot of time on these, and you can see like it's so easy to adjust them. You built them in a very easy, scalable way. Definitely encourage people to explore them more.
Yeah. We'll do 0. We'll do this and this. So this is going to be scaling up to the left. Okay, so what we want to do is we want this to scale from the bottom up. So let's go ahead and wrap this blur, right, in another container. Just bear with me. We'll make this all the way up and to the left. We'll align it to the bottom left here. We'll remove the background. Okay. We'll add, we're doing a lot here, but we'll do a component state. So animate. Hoping this is going to work. maybe it would have worked if we just aligned this to the bottom left. Let's see. If we do that. No. Okay, cool. So we do need this extra layer here. And we have that Boolean state. We don't. Okay. Show animation. We're just going, what we're doing is we're setting up a Boolean so that we can animate, we're going to animate the width and the height of the container so that it sort of grows in. And so we need that to sort of do that. So come back over here. Instead of this width and height being infinity, what we'll do is we will set a conditional value and we'll say condition equals, oh, you know what? Instead of state, we could do parameter. And then when we
could do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sorry. Pass it in. Nice.
Yeah, we'll pass it in. That way it's just automatic. We don't have to do another action here. You know, we'll just do that. So show animation. We'll do a Boolean still required. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Animation. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that and we'll confirm. And again, we'll just set the height and the width from that. So what I'll do is conditional value condition equals page parameter show animation equals to true. And we'll have to do this in a run mode. And we'll do screen. This is width. So we'll do screen width. Sorry. Entire width 100. Cool. If it's true, if not, it's 0. Oh, that's going to be great. Okay. We're going to copy and paste that on the height as well. Boom. And then on this, instead of width, we want height. Fraction of screen height, entire screen. Boom. And instead 0. All right. We'll see if this works.
Nice. Now I'm excited to see it.
It's going to be good. So we have the alignment set, bottom left. We'll add some additional animations to these guys, right? Can I add? We'll just do fade, do like 2 pixels or 300 pixels, and we'll do slide. Okay. Now we can create that staggered animation because these are static elements. So staggered animation, these are static. So we'll do that.
Nice.
Slide, actually like 10, and we'll do a scale as well. 8.8, cool. And we'll just see that. Ooh, we'll do a delay on this, 200. All right. Probably 300 is going to work. And we can just copy and paste all of this. And we'll paste it over here. Do that. Set a 400 delay. Same thing here. Boom. We'll do a 500 delay. And same thing here. 500, so 600 delay. All right. Yeah, more or less. I mean, it's going to hopefully expand.
Nice.
So
looks great.
But yeah,
really cool. Nice.
We have that. And then
really clean.
Let's go ahead and come back here. We have our all chat screen. So we're going to navigate to, I'll zoom in. We'll navigate to our chat iOS. Boom. All right, that way we can get here. And then, oh yeah, you have a test mode up and running? Maybe?
Right.
I'll run that test mode. We'll do that. We will now trigger this action here.
Nice.
And we're going to do custom dialog. Perfect. All right, select component, iOS action sheet. will pass that show animation and we will say it is true. Okay, and then we will do hero. We'll do 0 background, and we'll do non-blocking. Now we don't have a way to close it. Oh, you know what? We'll do that because that's, I mean, on the iOS, right? If you just tap it, it'll close. So what we'll do is we'll just dismiss this. And if we had, maybe 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, we could reverse that animation. So, but we won't. Oh, that. You know what? If we had set all these animations.
Oh, action states. Oh,
yeah. Or even like a trigger animation. If we had set this as a trigger animation, right? And then on component initialize, we trigger the animation. We could just reverse it. So anyway. Well, this is good though. This is good. We'll see.
We see it. Load.
Yeah.
Encourage people to do this themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the joy of building, just things. So, all right. Awesome. Google Drive, new build chip. Oh yeah. Somebody also asked for like a Google Forms, like thing. I think we already built that. You had built something
the quiz.
Like that.
Well, you made the quiz.
Yeah.
It's the same
we built
thing.
the quiz app, which is very
Unlimited
similar.
questions. Yeah.
So there are live streams around that Google Forms thing. Build chip. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Will we get Cupertino styles for some of the widgets? I would upvote that so many times as much as I could. Like the date picker, totally get that we are focused on, like Flutter is built around the material framework, but I think it definitely, especially on like web, it confuses some users to get the date picker, right?
Yeah.
So we're working on stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. Let's see. My test mode is getting there.
Nice.
It's coming along.
Another question. This is a long one. Okay. I always see messaging applications made in FlutterFlow, and they always include images in chat, but never videos. You could do videos. It's just, I don't know. People typically, it's just more bandwidth for your server to manage, right? So that's something you're willing to add. Just replace the image widget with a video widget, and you can do that. It's just, again, keep in mind bandwidth. You have to download the video every time. So that's maybe why users don't set that as a typical action.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm really excited. I'm like on the edge of my seat to see this animation because it looks so good. The way you set it up, how everything just like, it looks great.
I'm hoping it works like it should. Nice. So I obviously tested this before, so I know it will.
Nice. Okay, this is a tricky one. Do you think we could add a hero animation to a video player widget to another page? You could maybe make it a component and toggle on hero state, but even then, I don't know because the logic behind the video, I think, is set to pause or change on page change. So I honestly don't know. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like you can do the animate from one page to the next with hero, but I don't know if it's going to pass that timestamp. So,
Dimitar with a tough question. There's some good questions today. I know we're waiting for the test.
Yeah, this is good.
Why is the sorting feature in list view returning only the old and the new index? Why is it not returning the whole list with the item and the index? We can use that to store it.
I think he's referring to the resortable list, right?
Yeah.
I wish I had an answer. In all honesty, I tried to figure this out and I couldn't. So there's an example project, and I just
maybe that's good feedback. Really good feedback. Right? Like that's what we're looking for when we release features. We want this type of feedback. Maybe that's a change we'll make, right? So.
Yeah. Okay. My test mode is taking a second to load. So
expect easy questions from Dimitar. That's true. Dimitar is very experienced. He's a phenomenal. I'll shout out Dimitar's Discord channel. He is on there all hours of the day, answering questions, being as responsive as possible to users. So he's definitely a heavy power user in the FlutterFlow community.
Yes, and he's
With
been a
his support.
moderator since day one. He's been
Yeah,
around in the community since day one.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
you know, huge shout out. That's a big deal. So,
Yeah.
sorry guys, I know we're going 5 minutes over.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe test mode seems to be going a little slow for me recently. It was going slow for me yesterday. A trick though, the FlutterFlow team was informed of. Andrew, I used this a lot yesterday. I was having issues. I was working on a project, and sometimes my test mode wouldn't be updated. Whenever you want to make sure you have the most updated version of test mode from your project, because sometimes there's a delay, right? The server has to save and upload. Press in your project, if you have a test mode running, press on Mac, Shift Command I, and that will reload your test mode with the most recent version of your project, most up-to-date version.
Wow. Okay.
Trick there.
I will Shift Command I. I like that. All right, we're gonna see if this works. Oh, you know what? Obviously, have to reload it because this is the older version. So, yeah, we don't have the actions hooked up.
Yeah.
Although we did have, I think I did that too. Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We may have to go back to app state or component state on that animation, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's just this little guy. Hey, you know what?
Nice. That looks beautiful.
Wow, yeah. It's not exactly how I wanted it.
Oh, the fade. Yeah.
But you know what?
Fade just
hey,
fade in,
right? Dude, I don't know why I didn't think about this. We could just animate slide in and we could just move it to the bottom and it would just like boop.
You're right.
And the blur should just happen really. So we don't need the blur to fade in.
Yeah, well, yeah, that or just don't have it grow, right? You can just like
yeah, like let's go ahead and remove that. What we'll do is, oh yeah, we have this. Do we have this animating? Wait, what? We have this slide.
See, look at this. This is fun.
Oh yeah, we don't need this.
We're going past the hour because we love building in FlutterFlow so much. It's fun. Like I could do this for hours. I probably spend, Andrew. I mean, I know you spend a lot of time. I probably spend 6 to 7 hours a day in FlutterFlow every single day. Like if I'm not in FlutterFlow, I'm in Google Cloud. If I'm not in Google Cloud, I'm in Firebase. If I'm not in Firebase, I'm in designing. Like I could spend so much time just building different fun interactions in FlutterFlow.
So. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna do a horizontal slide negative though. There. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then I think now that's gonna be good.
I'm gonna put a challenge out to everyone that's sticking around here.
Cool. Yeah.
I want to see people do this on Twitter while this test mode is reloading. Because I found this out the other day. I want people to try this interaction. Take a list view or a column that's scrollable and wrap it in a transform widget and do a skew. Because you can make these weird interactions where like your list view that scrolls can. Oh, that looks perfect. That looks so nice.
I'm pretty happy with this. You know?
And when you click off, that's great. Like you don't even need the reverse, I would say.
Yeah. Dude, we could even resort this so that the delay goes backwards, right? I delayed it. Wow. I delayed it going down. No, I want it delayed going up. Come on, Andy. Come on, man. Since these don't matter anything, I'm just going to bring this one up. I'm going to bring this one up.
That's awesome.
I'm going to bring this one up. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
That's share.
But yeah, that's going to be my challenge to the community. I want to see some creative use cases because you can transform scrollable columns and list views to be like 3D looking where they're leaning back and turn. So you could add multiple on a page and still interact with them and scroll with them sideways and stuff. It's a cool trick. Like definitely try out the transform widget. I don't think people use it enough. I don't use it enough, but it's a really cool feature you can implement to
also
move things around the page.
Also, you don't even need it on this. You could just do tilt
True.
and
Yeah.
skew on this
Yeah.
animation.
Oh
So
yeah, for animation for sure.
yeah, we could
For
do
sure.
that. There, that's a little better, I think.
Nice.
So we'll
Or like
save that.
even vertical text. Like we did that in our Flutter Forward build.
Oh
I haven't
yeah,
seen anyone implement that. Just take the
yeah.
text widget, wrap it in transform, and turn sideways. I don't know. There's all sorts of cool stuff.
Nice, nice. Flutter wave payments. Cool. Sorry. I mean, yeah, Joseph, I'm sorry you got 2 hours of sleep. Go sleep, man. Go sleep. Okay, we're gonna instantly look at
Nice.
one other. Yeah, it
Nice.
works
I'm
though. I mean, hey,
excited.
we got this work. 20
Yeah.
minutes of good hard building and test mode. Be in test mode.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a pretty intense interaction. You could do more than this, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
do however you want. So I love it, dude. This is what I love about FlutterFlow. I can create these intense interactions, like pretty complex, right?
Yeah.
Fairly easily. Even if I did this in Figma, it probably wouldn't be
Nice.
this good,
Huh.
and it wouldn't be dynamic. Oh yeah,
True. Nice. That looks so good.
All right,
That's
gonna be
awesome.
my Spring
Wow.
Studio. That's gonna be my
That's
Spring
sweet.
Studio for.
That is sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that blur down, but I think we're done for the live. So this is sick. Thank you guys for joining. We had a
thank you
really
so much.
good. Will, thank you so much for doing that notification center. Excellent work. Very cool. So I think people, from the comments, people really appreciated it. So you did it awesome, dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm excited to see some. I want to see. That's I guess another challenge. I want to see people implement what Andrew just did in their own builds, like or at least a similar style of it. Right? It's a really cool interaction and animation that just improves your UI.
Yep. So. Oh, I'll do it in my coffee app, my coffee notes app. So
nice. There you go. That's a great idea.
I was just gonna do. I did your notification setup. So what we went over today, I've already done in an application.
Nice. So, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's an application I'm building with my wife. So
nice.
pretty rad. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much. Airhead, we are designers, not developers. So that's why we do a lot of design stuff. This is the UI UX live stream, how to build complex UIs in FlutterFlow and implement pristine user experience designs for your applications. You're not held back by Flutter or FlutterFlow in that regard. So we want to showcase everything you can do.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week.